What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about TNT's crime drama television series, Animal Kingdom, and the decision that I think ultimately ruined the series. And just so you guys know, this video will contain mild spoilers, so if you haven't gotten around to watching this show yet and you don't want to know what happens in it, you might want to exit this video now. And with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. Animal Kingdom is an American crime drama television series developed by Jonathan Lisco. It is based on the 2010 Australian film of the same name, which in turn was inspired by the criminal Pettingill family. The series is produced by David Michôd, the film's writer and director, and Liz Watts, the film's producer. The series stars Ellen Barkin, Scott Speedman, Sean Hatosy, Ben Robson, Jake Weary, Finn Cole, Daniela Alonso, Molly Gordon, Carolina Guerra, Sophie Rodriguez, Layla George, John Beavers, and Rigo Sanchez. Animal Kingdom premiered on TNT on June 14th of 2016, with the first season consisting of 10 episodes. Starting with the second season, each subsequent season consisted of 13 episodes. The second season premiered on May 30th of 2017, and the third season premiered on May 29th of 2018. In turn, the fourth season premiered on May 28th of 2019, the fifth season on July 11th of 2021, the sixth and final season premiered on June 19th of 2022. The series concluded on August 28th of 2022 after 6 seasons for a total of 75 episodes. It was the final scripted original series to air on TNT before production of original programming ceased on the network. Now, at the time of the making of this video, the show doesn't have a tomato score on Rotten Tomatoes, but its popcorn meter currently sits at 87%. The series has a Metascore of 65 on Metacritic based on 28 critic reviews, with a user score of 7.2 based on 116 user ratings. And finally, the series overall has an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb, with almost 50,000 ratings. Now, when Animal Kingdom first appeared on the scene, the first thing I thought was that it was maybe the most unique story I had seen in recent memory for sure. The second thing I thought was that Smurf was extra creepy, and like the relationship that she had with her sons was almost like romantic, especially with Pope. And as the show slowly progressed towards maybe the most predictable series finale in television history, I was surprised at one of what I would call the dumbest narrative and casting decisions I've seen in recent memory. In the 12th episode in season 4, after being diagnosed with terminal skin cancer earlier in the season, Smurf was shot by Jay at the conclusion of one final heist after Pope refused to end her suffering. Now, narratively, this was done as a means for Jay to exact revenge against Smurf for having Baz killed by a hitman that she hired through a character named Mia. And this was done because Smurf feared that Baz was gaining influence in her little criminal group, her little criminal boy band, and that one day he would eventually overthrow her. And if you've watched the show, then you know that Baz was ultimately revealed to be Jay's long-lost father, his real father. Now, the showrunners claim that this was done because Smurf's dominance over the boys was becoming boring and repetitive, and that, they felt like her character arc had kind of run its course, that they wanted the Cody boys to have a chance to navigate life without her, creating new opportunities for character growth and changes in relationship dynamics, right? It is also reported that Ellen Barkin was extremely difficult to work with and that she had expressed a desire to leave the show. And with all that in mind, I'll just say that while I understand that the showrunners getting rid of an actor who was becoming a problem, especially if they had come up with a way forward without her from a narrative standpoint, this decision fundamentally changed the show, in my opinion. And that change was made more noticeable when they replaced Smurf with young Smurf, and we got 2 seasons of unnecessary flashbacks. Now, I know what you might be thinking, right? These scenes did provide context as it pertained to how Smurf became the woman that we met in the pilot and how Jay's mom and Pope, grew up, being that they were twins. But ultimately, the flashback scenes were extremely disjointing, especially where the story that we were being told was concerned. I think it felt like the writers had jammed a spinoff into the middle of the show. And I would say it probably made the show last a full season longer than was necessary. And you guys know how I feel about shows that go on longer than they should, right? Because ultimately, we all knew exactly where this story was headed. And if you were really paying attention, you knew it from the moment the pilot episode was about halfway through, that Jay was either going to kill his uncles or have them all arrested for the role that he believed they played in the death of his mother. And if you guys watch the show, then you know that Jay's mother overdosed literally before the pilot episode even starts. She's sitting on the couch next to him, dead. And when the ambulance or the medics come in and check on her. Now, overall, I'd give this series a 70% or a 7.0 if you're thinking IMDb score. And, look, I think this show is one that had immense potential. Maybe this show might have had the most potential of any show in the late, from 2015 to 2020. And I would say that show's potential ultimately went unrealized. And I think it mostly fell short for a number of reasons, chief among them being the network that the show was on. Much like Sons of Anarchy, for example, I think this show was just too hot for TNT. And I said the same thing about Sons. I think the show was just too hot for FX, right? And that if this show had been on a premium cable network like HBO or Showtime or even Cinemax, I think Cinemax was still doing things in 2016, but I think it would have worked much better, right? And I also think the showrunner's inability to hold on to the show's most famous actor was also another reason that the show kind of fell to pieces as it got towards the end. And lastly, I think the writer's response to losing Ellen Barkin damaged the show from a narrative perspective, again, immensely. Now, I also know that I gave this show a 70%, which is fairly high. I tell you guys, anything better than a 6 is a good situation. But honestly, I think this show could have been markedly better than even that, if the few things I mentioned in the video had gone just a little bit differently. And if they had, we might be talking about a crime drama television series that could have easily rivaled Justified or Sons of Anarchy. But what do you guys think? Have you had a chance to check out Animal Kingdom yet? It's currently on Netflix and it's doing pretty well. If you have, and you've watched the whole show to the series finale, let me know how you think killing off Smurf with 2 seasons to go made you feel about the rest of the show. Let me know in the comments. And for those of you that might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. You can also now support the channel by leaving a super thanks. If you should feel so inclined, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to go and check out themadscreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.